So, all right, let's move on from there. I'm going to move on to AEW now. So that was Monday night. Let's move on to Wednesday night. This was July 17th, and obviously we're going to have to talk about MJF and Will Ospreay because this was basically the entire show, the whole show. It was an hour long, so we're not really going to show much of the match. You know, if you want to see the match, go watch it. I think AEW has a big chunk of the match, like at least 20 minutes of it on their YouTube page. So if you want to go on there and catch up on it, but I assume if you're a wrestling fan and you're clicking on this review, you've already seen it. I guess we could watch a couple highlights. I got maybe a couple things here. Zoom in over there on the right side to the little video on the right. That's the best we could do here on YouTube. Sorry, copyright rules, but if you zoom in, you could probably see it pretty clearly. But here's a flip from Will Ospreay early in the match. MJF has to kind of catch him. One of my criticisms of this match is obvious cooperation. You know, if you could do it in a way that, like, you're not obviously looking like you're going back to catch him, then okay. So I'm taking off points there. But MJF did heel it up. Obviously, he's returned to being a heel from a couple weeks ago, his heel turn when he demolished poor little Daniel Garcia. But the angles here. Let's see the angle. So there was Will Ospreay's shoulder came out, right? Got dislocated. And the doctor had to come in the middle of the match while the clock is running and pop his shoulder back in. I don't know what you guys thought about that. You think that was a good angle, guys? In the middle of this match or what?
It was probably not the, you know, I'm not sure. I'm truly not sure though. I didn't really think of that. You know.
I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a little much, you know, a little hard to believe, but okay.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. All right. So the ending. This was the Tiger Driver. This is basically like 1 minute left in the match, and the angle of Will Ospreay they've been going with is that he hit this Tiger Driver on Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson was convulsing for like a few minutes after their match, and he promised never to use it again. So here he is being torn about whether he's going to use the Tiger Driver, and he didn't do it. So basically this led into a ref bump and a chance for MJF to use his Dynamite Diamond Ring and cheat to win the AEW International title in a 1 hour match, or a 59-minute and 59-second match that was the whole first hour of Dynamite, basically. And here it is getting oxygen treatment after the match. And he did a lot of smack talking, talked about Will Ospreay, you know, that he's not a real wrestler, he's just a, what does he call him? You know, just the toy of the day for these fans, and he just does flippy stuffs. And he let some of that realistic shoot stuff out in the middle of the match when he'd be screaming at Will Ospreay. I didn't cut that out, but anyways, MJF is the new international champion. What do you guys think of that? I'll start with Vlad. Vlad, you gave this a 2 thumbs up rating.
Well, look, I had some of the same problems as you as far as some of the spots. Some of the stuff on the outside. I think there was stuff where they were fighting outside and Ospreay put his head in a garbage can or something. I mean, things that I did not like about the match. But overall, like, if we're looking at it as a whole, you know, yes, there are aspects, you know, when you're going to have an hour match in today's modern wrestling world, I'm expecting, especially with Will Ospreay involved, that it's going to have a little bit of that modern flavor, a little bit of that stuff. But overall, the work was tremendous. The stuff these guys were doing, the talent that it takes, it wasn't as ridiculous as if Ospreay would have a match with, like, let's say, Omega, where they would just be both flipping around. The fact that MJF is still, like, a really good traditional wrestler, you know, it balances out some of that aspect of Ospreay just wanting to do all the crazy video game moves, right? So I think just combining them together is a good mix. And plus, this is like the you know, the 2 biggest names right now currently in AEW. This is the only few they have. My only other issue with this thing, the match was great, tremendous work across the board. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, you can't really say much more about that. They put in an incredible amount of effort in this match. You know, to go an hour is crazy. But I think my other problem with this is why. Okay, clearly they're going to have a match at All In at Wembley, right? I mean, that's, I think, a foregone conclusion, I think. So why go an hour here, and what are you going to do for how are you going to top that? Like, you're not going to be able to top the match now. So traditionally in wrestling, I mean, amongst people that actually know what they're doing, not Tony Khan, the weekly shows are to build for the money match and then put on the match, have an exciting pay-per-view match. Here he's just having this great, amazing match for free. Fine. You could have that once in a while, but not if they're going to have a rematch at the PLE. I mean, PLE. No, okay, no. There's no PLEs in AEW.
Not in AEW.
There's no PLEs.
It is a premium live event, but it's also pay to view it, so it's a pay-per-view.
Yes, that's true. That's correct. True. It is a premium live event, but it's also pay-per-view. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my thing. You're not going to be able to top it now. And traditionally you're supposed to build towards that money match at the pay-per-view, not actually have the match on the weekly show. That's my only other issue with that. Otherwise, good work, great job. It's the only thing going in AEW. It's the only thing that you can really care about. This is the first time in maybe months that I've actually not forwarded through the first, or at least some portions of the first hour of Dynamite. I mean, I watched this match all the way through to its entirety. I'm actually happy that it went an hour. If it was up to me, they would go the full 2 hours, because I could give a shit about the rest of this show. I have to be honest. I couldn't care less about what transpired after this. So if they wanted to go 2 hours, I wouldn't have complained. I'm just saying, I got to throw in some mild criticisms because, I am traditional, a wrestling traditionalist. I watched wrestling since like the early 90s. I've seen a lot of different things, and I've never really seen our match before and then having to probably have a rematch at their pay-per-view, which they won't be able to top at this point. But other than that, it was okay. Good stuff.
Okay, all right. Let me move on to Robert. 2 thumbs up also from you on our review. Let's hear some comments.
So I love this, and I do agree with Vlad's point of like how are they going to top this in the pay-per-view. I have no idea. This was definitely a pay-per-view quality match for sure. Okay, so in general, I don't really like Iron Man matches because when a match goes that long, obviously the wrestlers have to pace themselves. As good as they are, they're still human, right? So there's gonna be parts of the match that are a little bit slow because they have to take breaks. They're still human, right? There was some of that. So I would have preferred a slightly shorter match, but all in all, this was amazing. I really love this. There's a little bit of criticism here and there. Like I didn't like the spot where they kept reversing each other's pin and they get like one count. Like
it was good timing, but yeah, it was weirdly not realistic.
That was a little that was a little silly. But man, I don't want to. There's not really too much to criticize about this because I think the pros.
How about the fact that it was for the international title and not the world title? That's something I heard. Some criticism about.
That's a criticism, really? Okay.
Well,
I wasn't even aware that was a criticism.
Why isn't this for the world title? These are the 2 best wrestlers in the company, for sure.
Yes, for sure. I think that's at this point it can't be denied. But yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Robert.
Sure. I mean, I guess that's a good point. I didn't think of that at all. I was just enjoying the match, but
I mean, I guess you could look at it 2 ways. This is elevating. No pun intended from Will Ospreay's theme music, but this could be elevating the international title, but or it could just be that, hey, this is a shitty title that was mostly on Orange Cassidy until now, and now all of a sudden they're acting like it's legitimate. Okay, I guess anything could be legitimate. I've seen incredibly epic intercontinental title matches, so You know,
Sure.
but those are supposed to be between guys who are in the mid card. You know, these are not mid card guys. So
Okay, well, I didn't hear any of this criticism when Gunther had the what's that title that he had? Yeah. Like I never heard any of this when during
Gunther's new to the main roster. Like MJF is not new. He's already been world champion, the longest reigning world champion in AEW history. Why does he even want this title?
I don't think he wants the title. I don't even think it's about the title for him, to be honest.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, all right. Sure. I guess that's.
Well, I don't want to dwell on that too much.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on that. Oh yeah, absolutely. This was great. Again, I typically not a huge fan of Iron Man matches, so I think this would have been even better if it was a little bit shorter. But overall, this was fantastic. One of the better Dynamite matches that I've seen throughout.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years it's been since Dynamite came out, but this is definitely one of their better matches for sure. Yes, so I loved it.